Hello guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel, and we have again some more very interesting historical rare pictures of the world. We're gonna start off with this one, Walt Disney, which proudly shows the map of the first theme park ever, Disneyland 1955. Now this was the only park, the first one, which basically he was directly involved in the supervision of the park. The reason behind this could be potentially that effectively he is, as you guys know, he's a Freemason, and some of the stuff in here, especially the circle in the middle and other symbols, were reminiscent of certain symbology hidden within the park's design. Now this is a very famous nightclub called the Xenon nightclub. Back in 1979, freelancer photographer Bill Bernstein went to Xenon and captured the smoky scene on the dance floor. This was one of the most popular nightclubs back in the 80s, which was good enough to compete with Studio 54, but was regarded as having more of a fashion crowd than Studio 54. And yeah, so that's pretty cool, guys, because this shows like back in the day the style and clothing and everything, and how people used to party in those nightclubs in the 80s, 1979. Quite amazing. Now here we have the original Colonel Sanders hanging out with Alice Cooper in 1969. That's right, so this is a photo of a perplexed Colonel Sanders posing with a thorough amused Alice Cooper. This photo was taken sometimes in 1970. In 2014, when asked about this strange encounter, Cooper recalled, "Here comes this nice old man in a white suit. Suddenly I realized that this is the Hannibal Lecter of chickens. I have the death of exactly one chicken on my hands, and this guy has a score of 10 billion. Yet everyone loves this guy and hates me for being a chicken killer." So yeah, pretty cool, isn't it? The Colonel Sanders, a legendary photo of this man who initiated KFC. Moving on to some more sci-fi science fiction, we have the USS Enterprise Model. That's right, so this is a picture of the actual model used for the Enterprise in the TV show in 1964. It was originally built in 1964 by Richard C. Dayton, Melkis Vernomsian, and Volmer Jensen, and has been restored 4 times. Pretty damn awesome, isn't it? Now, this one is a hilarious photo. This is the United States preparing Easter eggs for Hitler. As you can see, this is photos of people having fun with the bombs which they were gonna launch against the Russians, the Germans, in France in 1954. Quite shocking, but at the same time, as you can imagine, people were trying to make the most of it because they could die any second, so this was a way for them to forget about the pains and struggles and try to have a great time during Easter, during the Second World War. Now this is a rare photo of Marilyn Monroe with a sprained ankle. That's right, here's the full photo, as you can see here. Let's zoom out a bit for a second, and here we have her with the sprained ankle, ready to pose. Even with pain, she doesn't matter, she still wants to look glamorous in the photos because of course it's Marilyn Monroe. Now this one is a shocking one. This is a 16-year-old Walt Disney as a Red Cross ambulance driver during World War I. That's right, guys, this is crazy. So when at war, Walt Disney wanted to enlist just as his brother has just, but at only 16 he was too young. Disney found out that the Red Cross ambulance corps was accepting volunteers as young as 17. So Disney utilized his artistic skills to change his birthday on his passport application from 1901 to 900. This photo is Disney in uniform by his vehicle before leaving Paris to return home. As can be seen in the photo, the decorated vehicle with cartoon while overseas, later stating, "I found out that the inside and outside of an ambulance is a good place to draw as any." Pretty shocking, that's right. Walt Disney was literally working as a Red Cross ambulance guy when he was just freaking 16 years old. Quite shocking. Here we have some Beatle obsessed people. This is the Beetle Mania. That's right, so the Beetle Mania was a period in time where people were just so crazy about the Beatles, and they would just buy posters, art books, stories, everything. They would just literally be crazy because the craze for the Beatles was absolutely insane back in the days between the 60s and the 70s. Just crazy. And we have 2 girls who are just casually watching and reading and just enjoying a lot of like posters and information about this very popular group, which of course now is disbanded, but back in the day had a quite a substantial success, or better said, one of the biggest successes in the history of groups in music ever. Here we have a classic photo of the young Robin Williams. That's right, this is a very interesting one. We have him, he's super young here in his maybe like late 20s potentially. So picture here is the legendary comedic genius Robin Williams in 1979. Williams mastered comedy in all its forms: dark comedy, slapstick, stand-up, improv, film work, television, sketch comedy, and even more. Quite crazy. That's right, this is a legend, and long may he rest in peace, of course. Here we have the President Lyndon Johnson during the Civil Rights Act signing. In November 27, 1963, Johnson told legislators, "No memorial oration or eulogy could more eloquently honor President Kennedy's memory than the earliest possible passage of the Civil Rights Bill, for which he fought so long." So yeah, so this is the Bill of the Civil Rights, which was being written in 1963. Now, it may be shocking for you, but NASA actually had Miss NASA. That's right, so at one time NASA actually held its own beauty pageant. Pictured here is Miss NASA in 1971, all for the marketing, obviously. While there isn't much available information, it appears the pageant ran from at least 68 to 73. Especially of course during the moon landings, although there doesn't seem to be any photographs of or information available on who Miss NASA 1972 was. Crazy, right? So yeah, so of course to attract more views and, you know, become popular and stuff like that, they would have Miss NASA, which would be there and take photos with its stuff to attract the attention of people towards the work they were doing, or the alleged work they were doing of sending man to the moon. Here we have a classic photo. This is Ronald Reagan and Margaret Thatcher, which was the Prime Minister of UK in the past, and the two of them taking photos. I'm not sure which year was this, but I guess it was sometimes within the 80s at some point, most likely 70s, 80s. But yeah, this shows the unique situation in that time and these two leaders of the world back in the day. This is a very nice photo. This is actually dancing on the quays in Paris. That's right, quite interesting. This is a lively young group, a few of whom look like they may be playing hooky, are lounging and dancing to rock and roll on the quays of Paris in the middle of the day. Nice. So back in the day, people would just dance on the street in Paris and just enjoy themselves with some music, because, you know, why not? It's the artistic city of Paris, where art and imagination come to life. Now this, my friends, is the installation of the first ever phone line. That's right, look at this. This is crazy, right? We have the photo here. It's actually real. This is, guys, the actual first phone line. We have the poster, and yeah, Nevada to Utah, San Francisco, New York state line. Crazy, isn't it? This is just insane. 1914, look at that. That is amazing. And here we have a photo of the World Trade Center before they were destroyed. Just look at these imposing towers in 1975. Quite crazy, isn't it? I mean, look at this. They are just amazing. Now, of course, these towers are gone because of that attack which happened in 2001, and this photo just shows the difference between lifestyle of the poor and the rich, which has not changed anyway, because it's still like that in America. You have very poor people and of course very rich people. This is a very funny photo taken in France in 1950. This is literally people having Coca-Cola for the first time in their life, and as you can see from their faces, they are in complete disarray because they have no idea what they are looking at, and why is it black, why is it fizzy, why is it sweet. Of course they were really reluctant to drink it because they had no idea what they were getting themselves into, and their expressions shows a lot of emotions in the process. Now, this is a very weird one, but it's a funny photo. This is the publicity shot for the Munsters. That's right. The Munsters was a family sitcom depicting the daily life of a family of monsters. The series was a satire of the wholesome family depiction popular of the time, as well as traditional monster movies. Although it ran concurrently with the Addams Family, which was similar in theme, it still achieved higher figures in the Nielsen ratings. Yeah, crazy, isn't it? So the classic ran from the 1960s, and yeah, pretty interesting. This is literally was back in the day when people enjoyed these weird, awkward sitcoms of life of monsters, effectively, which is just interesting, isn't it? But yeah, guys, that's it for today's videos on some of the most interesting photos we've seen ever in history. And as always, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I shall see you guys later in the next videos. Bye.